we're going to learn how to play song number 49, Two Ways to Play It. In this song, we have a new note, and it's called an E natural.
The whisper key is depressed. You're going to place the first finger down on the first tone hole. That's E.
We're going to start at the very beginning of the song. For right now, in the beginning of the song, we're playing regular E flats, E3s that we already know how to play. We have B1, C6, D4, E3. Let's try it. Ready? Play. Then we're going to slur E3 to D4. So remember, when we're slurring the notes, we're connecting them. We're not stopping the sound. Let's try that again. E3 to D4 slurred. And then we're going to play C6, D4, E3. The next part, we have C6, D4. Let's just play those two notes. Now we have an E2, an E natural. That funny looking symbol in front of the E is a natural symbol, and that means that it's a regular E. And I know we played an E3 up until this point, but that's been called an E flat. We now have an E natural, and then an F1. Let's try that. Ready? Play. And then we're going to slur F to E natural. So go back from F1 to E2. And then we're going to play D4. Now look at that next E. It doesn't have a symbol next to it. Now, but above it, it does say it's also an E natural. So what that means is at the beginning of the measure, they have an E natural. If there's another E in that same exact measure, that same square, it means that you're going to also play that same altered note. So they alter the note between E natural in the beginning of the measure. That means that next E in that same exact measure is still an E natural. If they tell you it's an E flat, then you'll change the note. But what they did was they got lazy, and then they have a rule. If they alter the note in the measure, anything after that, as long as they don't tell you that it's changed back, it's still changed to whatever they altered it to, or whatever they changed it to in the beginning of the measure. So that is also going to be an E2. So we're going to play D4 and then E2. Make sure it goes all the way into an inch out, and then an F1. Here we go. Here we go. Let's start from the very beginning. Remember, in the beginning of the song, we are playing E3s. Here we go. We have B1, C6, D4, E3. Let's try it. Ready? Play. Now we're slurring E3 to D4. And then we're going to play C6, D4, and then E3. Then we have C6 to D4. And then we're going to play an E2 to an F1. Now we're slurring F1 back to E2. And then we have D4, E2, F1. Now, I forgot to tell you this. In the beginning of the song, the very beginning of the line, you have in the key signature, which you've seen all along, two flats. So you have a B flat and an E flat. And that means that all of your B's and all of your E's in the entire song are going to be B1 and E3. Unless they tell you that it's altered where you have the E2, they alter it in the end of the line. And that's why it changes. And that's why you play the E3 in the beginning of the song, because it doesn't tell you that they're changing the note, but they tell you at the beginning of the line that that's already an E flat. We're going to try this to a metronome marking of 60. Try your best to stay along with the beat, and here we go.
Two ways to play it.
Great. I can't wait to hear your recordings.